religious controversy. The religious controversy really stems from the fact, what's your religion? What's your nationality? And we as a people should understand the depth of what's your nationality, what's your religion. It goes way back before Prophet Noble Ali came. When the slaveholder beat Kula Kinte and made him Toby. When he told the Negroes on the plantation, you can't say your own name in your own language. Then he divided us from our religion, became the controversy. Since that time, we've been running around the people trying to say what our religion is on our own, like we know better. But what we actually been doing is switching from one slaveholder to another. We go from Christianity, from Judaism. The Jews sold us into slavery. They came out of Egypt, and it tells you in the Bible, in Leviticus, that they can enslave the people that came out of Egypt with them. Then if you get into Christianity say we're cursed people. From Ham, we're cursed people. Then when you get into Islam, they tell you Muhammad's the last prophet. And while they hold the Quran up in there and say Allahu Akbar, they had their foot on our neck. They held us in slavery in Arabia up to 1962. Now I had some people tell me, well, Brother Roy, you know the original Arabs, they were black, they was Moors. Now I have to tell them you a lie. The original Arabs was not Moors. It's impossible. It's so impossible that I put up the scripture. Psalms 83 verse 6. It says the Ishmaelites on the land of the Moabites. It didn't say the Moabites on the land of the Ishmaelites. So the Ishmaelites are descendants of Ishmael, who descended of Ibrahim through Hagar. So that lets you know they had to be on our land. We was never on their land. Now, as occupying authorities, they've changed the history of our people. So now we believe in order to be Islamic, we gotta speak Arabic and dye our beards red, wear our pants all the way up to our kneecaps and, speak Arabic. What's the difference between that and Christianity? None. Because the Christian gave you a Christian named Joe Bob.
We are Moorish Americans, faithful and free. Islam, Islam. We rise this day being November the 2nd, 139th year of Ali, the year 2025 in the Roman calendar year. As we declare and proclaim there is no Allah but Allah, and Noble Drew Ali is Allah's last prophet in these days and times. As we open up our Sunday school this day, we open up with prayer for those who are of our faith. You may join us. For those who are not, you may remain in silent benediction. Islam. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Islam. Praise Allah. Excuse the noise. Islam. Praises unto Allah, as Allah is the only one who is praiseworthy. He is most gracious and beneficent. Allah is oft-giving. He is the causeless cause and the rootless root from which all good is sprang forth. As Allah is given, as He will cause us to die, as Allah will give us life once again. Grateful then is man that Allah unselfishly replenishes man for an opportunity for him to repent, for an opportunity for him to be redeemed. As we give praises to Allah, as we know that we cannot repay up the debt which we owe unto Allah, it is the gratitude that we have knowing that we can be of service unto Allah and to man. As Allah so graciously sent to us a divine part of Himself in the most noblest image of our holy and divinely prophet, Noble Drew Ali, as he is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the educational branch of the Moorish nation, as we give honors to all whom the prophet was able to reach and teach and to carry out the divine inspiration throughout the generations to this day. We give honors to those men and women who were truthful in their seeking Allah and sincere in the prophet's work. We give them honor this day. And we give an honor to the forerunner of the holy divine prophet in the most gracious image of the Honorable St. Marcus Messiah Garvey, the harbinger, the John the Baptist of this era of time, as we give him honor for introducing that which all were looking for, Jesus come again. As St. Marcus Messiah Garvey declared that the Negro wants a nationality, needs a nationality, one that is equal to that of the Chinese, the Japanese, the German, and the Jew. He declared that the Negro was looking for a Quran of social and intellectual welfare, as none could answer the call other than our holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. As we give honors to the UNIA, which was St. Marcus Messiah Garvey's organization that boasted membership in the millions worldwide, those who were directly functioning and acting on his behalf, and those who were in association in that great work. We give them honor this day, as they still have chapters functioning throughout the United States at this hour. We also give a special honor to the first Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America, St. Edward Millie Ill. As St. Edward Millie Ill possessed within him the inspiration of the divine nature that the prophet saw and said, you know, I can use him. In other words, he is what I'm looking for. And the prophet did appoint him to the position, the highest position within the organization, entitled the Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And through this process, he was accepted by the then august great grand body of 1928. Unanimously, meaning no one said nay. How about that? No one rejected the prophet during this special meeting. So we give them, at that hour, we give them honor for having a good sense of knowing that this man that the prophet had handpicked met the criteria which the prophet was looking for. And they did not interfere. We give for that action. We also give an honor to St. Edward Millay for being the one that was able to maintain and carry out the discharge of the office of Grand Sheikh during the turmoil of that time period. Because 1 year later, our holy and divine prophet and timely death occurred, which caused a ripple that went through the Moorish nation that still reverberates to this very hour. Those who do not know and will not take the time to find out where the seat of power within the Moorish Science Temple of America. Therefore, there is confusion throughout the Moorish diaspora. For those who don't know, there will always be, because Allah guides those whom He will and leads those, let them go astray, whom He will. So we give honors to St. Edward Millay. We give honors to our present-day Grand Sheikh, our Sheikh of Islam here in the West. We affectionately call the Chief of Ministers. That is Sheikh Dr. Rasadiel, as he is the Moorish Mahdi, which means reformer. As his work, his efforts are all directed to reinstalling Islam back within the Prophet's temples of Islam as founded. We give him honor for his work. We give him honor for his efforts, and we support all that we are engaged in this agenda of making the Moorish American Muslim respectable within the Moorish community, respectable within the Islamic community, and once again to sit at the table with those heads of nations, as the Prophet so eloquently did during his time. So we give our leadership high honors for his works. We give honors to those who are on his staff, those of the trustee board. The trustee board, the sheikh board, the grand body. We give honors to the grand governors and governors, grand sheikhs, grand sheikhs, adepts, the members, to the members, the guests, sympathizers, and those who are in association with other organizations who want to assist us in promoting the great work of uplifting fallen humanity and propagating the faith of Islam. We give you honor this day, Islam. So without further, we're going to be reading the prophethood. It is required reading for a purpose, and those who have ears to hear will be able to understand. It says the prophethood. When it becomes quite clear that a certain person is a true prophet of Allah, the natural dictate of this realization is that his words should be accepted, his instructions followed, and his orders obeyed. It is unreasonable to accept a man as Allah's true prophet and yet not believe in what he says or not follow what he ordains. Your acceptance of him as Allah's prophet means you have acknowledged that what he says is from Allah Almighty, and that whatever he does is in accordance with Allah's will and pleasure. Now, the disobedience to him is the disobedience of Allah. The disobedience of Allah leads to nothing but ruin and devastation. Therefore, the very acceptance of the Prophet makes it incumbent upon you to bow to his instructions and accept them without any hesitations whatsoever. You may not be able to fully grasp the wisdom and the usefulness of this or that order, but the very fact that an instruction came from the Prophet is sufficient guarantee for its truth, and there can be no room for doubt or suspicion. Your inability to understand it is no reason for its having a flaw or defect, for a common man's understanding is not limited. a common man's understanding is not flawless. It has its own limitations, and they cannot be ignored altogether. Islam. As we declare and proclaim, there is no Allah but Allah, and that Allah is the Father of the universe, as He is the Father of the love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We declare that as we submit to that idea, and this idea becomes a fact once we immerse ourselves into ridding ourselves of the burden of sin, meaning we start doing and acting right and start living righteously. A part of the purification of the mind is to be truthful with ourselves first and foremost. As we've been given prayers, we've been given the purpose of meditation, but we've been given other aspects of supplication that we practice, that we come within alignment with the divine intention of being at one with Allah. And these small acts, these small gestures only demonstrate our sincerity to reconnecting with our Father, God, Allah. As this path is long, this path is narrow. As we meet those along the way and those who fall off along the way, we ensure that we anchor ourselves so our foot is planted securely upon this path, and that all that we have looked for in life comes down to our sincerity of meeting our Father God, Allah. And many go through life doing whatever they feel, because as this carnal life is built upon emotions, this carnal life is built upon attaining those material things that you can touch and feel. Now, many build a life to show the gains that the world offers to them as rewards for being good, their hard work. But the work that needs to be done is internal. The real work that has to be done purging the mind of the evil thoughts and intentions, of those actions that were perpetrated before coming in contact with the holy and divine prophet Noble Drew Ali's Moorish Science Temple of America, and before taking an allegiance, taking a declaration of faith with the Islamic way of life. Now it's time for you to truly decide, is this what you want? Is this exactly what you want? Is your life as you believe it to be? Although Allah is the author and the creator of all, your option is free will. And free will is not Allah's will. Therefore, your soul searching, therefore those things which are captivating to you in this carnal world, you must decide, is that what you really want to chase, or is it the acceptance of Allah's invitation? The acceptance of Allah's invitation to come the acceptance of Allah's invitation to be at one with Allah. Ultimately, that is what it boils down to. But to get there is a lot of work. To get there is a lot of what we call cleaning house, starting with the mind. As the Prophet said, we suffered from what is called mental slavery. We've subjected our mind to thoughts which are not becoming of who we truly are. We allow, as our Supreme Grand Sheikh declared, subliminal suggestions of the world to anchor within our minds, cloud our judgment and thinking, and put us on a different path away from Allah. Even though you think you're on the true path, you're not, because Allah is not leading. The true living God is not at the forefront. You're following someone else. You're looking in a different direction, but you don't even know it because of the suggestions that your mind has already played the trick on you. Meaning that you have been so directly, as they use the term, groomed to think and act a certain way based upon the different variables that are thrown at you in life. We know that you're going to act out. In other words, we put you in the proper setting and we already know what the outcome is. As Allah Himself has stated, you have free will. Which will you take? Allah's will or yours? That's cut and dry. The preparation to meet Allah, the Prophet came to show the way. He's already been there. He left those behind to guide you on that same straight path, the Mustaqim. As we here in the Moorish Science Temple, America-1928, completed our holy Moorish month of Ramadan, our celebration of the great things our Prophet instituted for us, and of course our rededicating ourselves to the faith of Islam from the Moorish perspective, our rededicating ourselves to Allah through our assistance to our brothers and sisters, through our works, our actions, our deeds, and yes, through our thoughts. This whole month was to get our mind retuned so that our actions are redefined toward Allah. It's just 31 days out of this year, but we do it all the time. But that 31 days is an effort to concentrate fully and directly toward Allah through the Prophet's teaching as taught to us by our Supreme Grand Sheikh and his leadership. Therefore, we can cut, as they say, cut away the fat, the useless and naughty, ungainly parts of our life, and concentrate on that which is true and direct. So those 31 days went by very quickly because we were immersed in our studies, we were immersed in the different classes that we participated in, and of course our great Moorish American convention and all the festivities and all of the meet and greet of those that we only spoke to on the phone or perhaps Zoom, but to meet them in the flesh, to talk with them, and to feel the vibrations of their spirit. because each of us have a vibration within our spirit. And it resonates through our soul how we dictate our language and actions around each other. So again, the 6-day event, many things accomplished, the agenda is laid out for the upcoming year, which is nothing less than stellar for us as Moorish American Muslims. So we are grateful to Allah to have had that, to be in congregation with each other. And now as we are back within our prospective homes and cities and states, and the work starts or continues. I can't use the word start. It started when the prophet laid the groundwork and the prophet put the agenda. We just joined in during whatever time period you became a member. You joined in this work. This work is continuous. And it will continue until the last person has bowed their knees to Allah. And there is no doubt. Every knee must bow to Allah. Whether it's by choice or by force. And remember, the force only means this person will have to redo whatever it is that he is anchored in this land, this world of manifest. So again, we're just reflecting on preparing ourselves. That is what, in essence, these books are. These social books, the Quran of Mecca, these social books, the New Testament for the Christians, the Old Testament for the Judaism, for the Hebrews, for the Jewish community, and of course, our New Testament for Moorish American Muslims, the Circle 7. These books are getting you prepared to meet the King, getting you prepared to meet Allah. I don't know what name out there that you, besides us as Moorish American Muslims, we call him Allah. That's our prophet instituted for us to call him Allah. But he's known by many names. But he's still the same universal Allah, the one God, the one true and living God. And that is what this is about, preparing yourself so when you lay the flesh down, when your earth tasks are done, you return back to your Father God, Allah, and that you may not have to redo this again. But if you do, perchance that you will come back, in a better state than you've left, that you can pick up where you left off, and that you'll be able to complete and accomplish that which all of our lives are built, and that is for the end result is to be at one with Allah. So as we are grateful for the opportunity to speak to those who are out listening, and for those who understand that we put this program together many years ago, along with our educational process that all members who join us must be a part of. And this is a process that gives you, as a new member, the opportunity to become a new convert and to see if this is truly what you want. Now, on the Blessed Holy Day, we demonstrated from the Holy Quran, the Moorish Science Temple of America, chapter 15, as Jesus went into the wilderness to look within himself to determine if he was worthy to do a, as they call it, self-reflection. That's a hard thing for us to comprehend, because we really don't look at ourselves in that way. We really don't take the time, because of the world has put us in a frenzy of movement that we're never still. We're constantly in motion. We don't get a chance to quiet our souls as we should. And again, that's why the holy month Moorish Ramadan was so great, is that we got an opportunity with our meditation. We got an opportunity with our prayer, with our zikr. We got an opportunity with our studies to sit still, to contemplate our frame, to sit still and mentally determine what our motive is, to determine what our next move will be, but to sit still and be quiet. The world is moving in such a fast pace that people believe it to be, that you don't get an opportunity to actually ground yourself in what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And the same thing goes with the temple. The 2 hours that you give on the holy day, the 2 hours you give on the Sunday school, they go by very fast, because your mind is thinking on other than what is being taught or spoke on by the teacher, the minister. So that is why it's great that we have the video recording. That way you can go back, you can sit, and you can go back through and just do, as we say, some areas where you can actually go over what was said, review in the Quran, review in all things.
Different directions. So too have they done with the truth that is supposed to come from the east. Now, a lot of y'all have heard me teach on it. I've taught y'all basically, that this is not supposed to come in, it's supposed to be for the Masonic order. Because all you Moors leaving the temple going to the Masonic order. When the prophet was here, they was leaving the lodge coming into the temple. Think about that. When the prophet was here, and you that are Masons are looking for greater light, left the lodge and came to the temple. Now, brothers are leaving the temple, going into the lodge. Now, if it was...
All right, we back. Islam. Again, as we was demonstrating from the fact of we all have an opportunity to sit and be quiet and be still, and to really think and contemplate the various things that's going on within life in general, and those things that you want to accomplish. So that is why we do the 18 weeks of the Moorish Islamic boot camp. 18 weeks. It seems like a long time. But if you really truly study and you're about what it is that you endeavor, the 18 weeks do go by fast. But the blessing that you have someone you can call, if you run into an area where you're not quite sure of, you can get some understanding, you can get the information, and you'll be in the right direction. So again, this part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, for those who come across our website, you get an opportunity to read the full measurement, because it details what we're about, first and foremost, the things that we are concerned about as Moorish Americans, and the things we're concerned about as Muslims. Things are detailed out. And then it puts the contrast, which is those things which we're not about. We're not about stealing houses. We're not about driving out lights. We're not about, what do they call it, sovereignty. These things are carnal in nature, and there is no salvation in it. We don't recognize any of those type of groups or individuals as being Moorish anything. Based on the fact the Prophet did not bring any of that and did not focus on any of that in his teachings. Nowhere can we find it within our Quran, our Constitution and bylaws, our additional laws, supreme laws, general laws. We don't find any of those things that are supported in a positive light. We do see where the Prophet says they believe that they're on the path of true Moors, but they're not. So he's telling you, beware, buyer beware, caveat emptor. You examine what it is that you're going to get into before you get into it. So it's your decision. So these are the types of individuals that, what the Prophet say, those are the ones that lead you astray. Your brother man that leads you back into slavery. You believe that you're going to get an easy fix to your situation. The Prophet say it took years to put our people in the condition that we're in. You know, many hark on, our people here have been in slavery for 400 plus years. Now, 400 plus years is a long time. Excuse the noise. Stand by.
Different direction. So too have they done with the truth that is supposed to come from the east. Now, a lot of y'all have heard me teach on it. I've taught y'all basically, that this is not supposed to come in, supposed to be for the Masonic order. Because all you Moors leaving the temple going into the Masonic order. When the Prophet was here, they was leaving the lodge coming into the temple. Think about that. When the Prophet was here, and you that are Masons are looking for greater light, left the lodge and came to the temple. Now, brothers are leaving the temple, going into the lodge. Now, if it was darkness in the lodge when the Prophet was here, there can't be no light in it today. So you're leaving the light, going into the darkness. But the Prophet spoke on that too. All this is out of Religious Controversy, page 8. The Prophet.
Islam. Thank you for that. Again, we're grateful for the structure that the Prophet set up, but more so we are grateful that the Prophet has put disclaimers out way before we were born. So these are not things that we instituted. We had nothing to do with what the Prophet demonstrated with the do's and the don'ts, the law. We're only one who follow it to the best of our ability and assist those who are looking to join. And for those who want to do their own thing, for those who have other gods, other prophets that they themselves embolden themselves with, we say all is well. Let's do it over there. That's the beauty that I don't think people understand when the prophets say the American Constitution, one of the greatest documents ever written, because they put in there a structure for all men here to have their own consciousness. Meaning that if you believe that a rock is your God and Savior, so be it. But do it over there by the tree. But if someone's over there and says the tree is their God, move. Go elsewhere. We want to make that clear. We're not stopping anyone from worshiping the way that they want to. We're just saying the Prophet has instilled the way that we do it, and then there's the way that you do it. Go over there. Be somewhere else. It sounds simple, but many people, for some reason, want to bring all that baggage. They want to bring all that which did them no good where they were in a place that's functioning correctly. And these things are upheaval and they won't be tolerated here. It doesn't take long. As we say, it doesn't take long for the evil intentions to actually manifest themselves. I was speaking with the minister and we was talking about how the month of Ramadan, the fasting and all the festivities that we went through, and everything is going a certain pace, certain things that you see and realize, and then all of a sudden there's an incident that just pops out. You didn't see it coming, you wasn't anticipating. They said all that is that it's reinforcing the idea that you're thinking correctly. It's reinforcing the purpose of what you're doing, that you're doing right. That's the only time the devil shows up. We call it the devil, you know what I'm saying. That's the only time that these mishaps come about, is when what you're involved in is correct, and that you're not moving from where you are. That's what the prophet said. When you're on the mustaqim, that straight path, it starts out, it's wide, it's large, because people are there with you. People are marching the same way you're going, but after a while, some fall off, some go back where they came from, and then it gets narrow. When it gets narrow, you look around, it's just you. But you steady going forward. You steady moving forward. All of a sudden, something goes across this way, that way. But they don't stay. That's what they call that, the Nas. The Nas, M-A-N-A-F-S. That's something to try to deter you. And that's all these things are. They're just, as the leadership say, they are stepping stones. You just use them to make steps. You step over those things that come across your path. Let them pass you by, because it's only an illusion. That's their whole purpose, is to derail what you got going, to interfere with where you're heading. I said, but you are concentrated on this path, and you're going to see all sorts of things. You're going to hear all sorts of things. The prophet said, don't fear what you see or hear. So if this is the fact that we all know is a fact, those individuals or those things that occur when you are steadfast in what you're doing, know that that is what they call it, Satan, devil, dragon, beast. All of these things are those that come to interfere in what it is that you're truly about, and that is to be at one and to walk the true path, the straight path. So we go through those 30 days and we get down to day 28, 29, and 30, all of a sudden things start popping up. Individuals start bringing out with nonsense. I said, that's because the devil can't keep his evil to himself. The leadership continues to teach us that. No matter what you're involved in, no matter how great it is, when it's right, the enemy is always trying to interfere. The enemy is always lurking, trying to cause upheaval. And that's not no spooky story. That's not no myth. I mean, you can see it in your life. You can see it on the TV. You can see it on the news. You see it in the government. I mean, look at what's going on with the recent issues that are arising. Well, they were having fun last year this time, but now all of a sudden, things looking a little iffy. And they don't know what their next move is going to be. So instead of them anchoring down, hunkering down, and reevaluating their situation, they act out. When they act out, that is what the enemy wants. He wants the acting out, because now he can act upon what you're doing. So anyway, we're going to give an opportunity to let you think on that, because each and every one of us have to make that decision, what truly is real to us in our walk toward Allah, and all things that the Prophet has laid out and instituted through the teachings from our leadership, how much of it that we internalize and use, and how we can see the effects of it that we have on others, as well as the effect it has on ourselves. So all I'm saying is that through the diligent study, through all of the avenues that the Prophet has afforded us of submitting to that of Allah and staying within the bounds of the righteousness of Islam and the practices and the way of life, we see and we witness many things that occur that some would say that couldn't have happened. But as a witness to a lot of things that have happened, that you actually get to see and hear, you know you're on the right path. Because if you wasn't, you wouldn't be having these major issues that you can't explain directly. It's no mystery, but with that, all those people out there doing their trick-or-treating, just know that life is not a trick. We're going to leave you as we came in peace and love, and we're going to turn over to our grand governess, Sheikh Isis Saudi of Islam. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Almighty.
Islam, Islam, Islam. We give praises to our Father God Allah for allowing us all another day to get it right. Another day to grow strong, another day to right a wrong. Every day we wake and give Allah all the glory, all the praises. For He alone belongs all thanksgiving and praises. And when you can wake up in the morning, irregardless of what you're going through, it's how you choose to go through it. But when you go through it with Allah leading on, and you truly allow Allah to lead on, even when it may not look in the manner in which you want it to look like, but you trust fully in Allah's guidance, it puts you at ease and puts you in a better frame of mind. We give Allah all the praises and all the glory. We give honors to His love thought manifested in divine flesh, Jesus come again in the noblest of image of our beloved Prophet Nabi Ali. We want a camelback of all the honors given as we are in one accord. Sheikh Jakad had opened up, but we definitely want to acknowledge our teacher, Sheikh Rasadil, for he continues to stand as a vanguard for the teachings of Islam. He makes no apology. He is simply straight to the point, no chaser. We ain't watering it down with applesauce or sugarcoating it to make it appeasing. We give honors to our leadership, for many Moorish Americans have acknowledged that if it not for him, they wouldn't know the history as they know it. And it was many who have taken on the faith of Islam, be it a more scientific America, have been received the true history, directly or indirectly. And though many know where they get it from, but won't acknowledge the source in which they get it from, it's like they enjoy the fruit but curse the tree. One of the things that our Supreme Grand Sheikh says, is he's not looking for fanfare in that, because eventually it will all blend into the essence of those who are truly are about the truth and the history of our prophets. So make sure everybody starts sounding like us, I guess. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So as our holy month, right? How long we been calling October our holy month?
26 years out.
And the fact that we see Moorish Americans and other grand bodies acknowledging October as their holy month. But when we do something in reflection of the law, there's reason behind it. We shall get into that. We welcome you to our Sufi Sunday school. I'm Grand Governor Isis Adiel, and so we are truly still in the spirit of our holy month. It's closing out. At 7 o'clock, we will be doing a community Shahadatain, where our community together will do a dedication and recommitting ourselves to this journey, to this path, to the Mustaqim, as we will commit to our Shahadatain as a community. Thus, it kind of is the closing of our Ramadan, our Moorish American Ramadan. And as all of us have engaged in that, we are now closing out with the dedicated fixed spirit to allow the lessons and the spirit of this holy month that we have participated in with our convention and so forth to carry us through to the next year. And so every time we say our Moorish American prayer, is as though we are reconfirming ourselves and taking a Shahadatain, a personal Shahadatain, because it's a declaration that of faith. Shahadatain is based on two Shahadas. The first Shahada being that there is no Allah but Allah, and the second Shahada is that Prophet Noble Jew Ali is the prophet in which that was revealed to us our faith. Now in our Islam, it will be Muhammad, as they account as Muhammad being the seal of the prophet. And we realize that Muhammad is the seal of the prophets for them, not for humanity, because it goes against the teachings in the Quran that if the trees were pens and the sea was ink, that you could not, Allah's words and his measures is unending. So we realize that in Surah 10, as it clearly measures out, Surah 10, 47, 47, 48 to 49, where every nation will receive a prophet. And so we have to look at the nations in which Allah has created and instigated. When we're looking at history, there's nations in which Allah has sanctioned, and then there's nations in which man has sanctioned. And so we're going to stick with Allah. And Allah has given us a prophet that came in our tongue, and it's stated that a prophet comes in the tongue of his people. So I love the fact that our Supreme Grand Sheikh made it to where we can go into the Quran of Mecca, our Old Testament, and actually do scripture, not argue a point with a point, because if you can't back it up with scripture, it's mute. You have to know where, what's your formula that you are utilizing that came about with your answer. When I was taking up electronics engineering, one of the things we had these differential equations, and sometimes it can be a problem that took up 2 sheets, the actual calculation, or the manner in which we had to write it out. We had our scientific calculators, but we actually had a certain formula that had to be utilized in order to determine, whether or not we came up with the right answer. Now, we can have the right answer, but the professor wasn't interested in the answer being right. Yeah, the answer being right, but it's like, okay, so let me see how you got to that answer. So your calculation have to match up to you getting that answer. If you didn't, it's wrong. It's considered wrong. Even though the answer is right, if the formula is incorrect, your answer is wrong. Because, and this is the same in just in logic thinking, that if you have an answer to something, or if you are fixed on giving to interpret or speak on a particular subject matter, and then someone asks you, well, where's the source in which you got that from? I saw it on TikTok, you know. So we have to be mindful of where we get that information from. It was a lesson I had to give my youngest granddaughter, who would, you know, she would be so into certain, she would give her measure about certain animals and this, that, and the other, and then I would ask her about something. When it comes to, you know, horses or equestrian, you know, you into that. I'm not even wanna, you know, mince words with you when it comes to that. You know about the different horses, you know how the grooming, you went through in learning that. And so, but when it comes to, let's say, certain measures in dealing with, let's say mental health, let's say particular mindfulness and so forth, then you, with those who are expert in that, you may have some information that you came across, but you can't argue a point that you have not been fixed in and being an expert in, if you will. So, or even to the fact of having your information from a source of experts. So we have to be mindful of where we're getting our information from. Is when I was looking for the prophets, information about the prophet, everyone was telling me something. Well, sister, you know, it's not nothing around, you know, you just gotta, you know, exercise your five, and that ain't saying nothing. I mean, what does that mean? Because if you're not telling me or have any history as to what Prophet Nuh Ali brought and taught, then how do I know what, you know, how are we measuring up what you're saying is correct? And that's when it was that term, well, sister, you know, everybody's giving a portion of their understanding and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. And then I just prayed for Allah to guide me where I needed to go. Because everyone always have these quick microwave answers that don't lead to anything. And it's just a lot of times they go to, and in the Quran and Mecca, it's surah that actually speaks to, people will go and pull from particular lessons based around instigating some mystic or something that, you know, you can't, like twisted logic. What is it? You know. And so they rather do that than just to say, you know, I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to travel in that. But they're going to make it sound like, you know, it's some type of mystical teaching. One of the things is that when, and this is just a note, particularly for those who are new to Islam, you know, one of the things is why we say, we greet by saying Islam. Now the word Islam means peace, but we greet because it clearly is in line. One, our prophet said that would be our greeting. But if you go to Surah 10:10, and we're gonna start from Surah 9. Surely those who believe and do deeds of righteousness, their Lord will guide them for their belief. Rivers will flow beneath them in gardens of delight. Surah 10:10. Their call therein will be, glory be to you, O Allah, and their greeting therein will be peace. Right. And their close of their call will be, praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And we either, you can either say Alhamdulillah, in the name of Allah, or Bismillah. So these are things where we would initiate in our opening and in our closing. Is in alignment with the dictates of our faith. How are you going to argue against that? It's in Scripture. So that's one of the things, is that when you find it in Scripture, you can. And we also use the Bible, because the Bible is written allegorically, metaphorically, and symbolically. And one of the things is that a lot of Christians will hold to literal sense. And it's like, I used to be one of them, and then actually will ask questions, and then when we ask questions, that's just the devil in you. What are you asking that for? And they make you think that you're not to ask questions. We serve a mysterious God. And I said, well, if He's mysterious, what are we serving? I mean, if we not to ask questions. Of these things was based upon the fact that people could not explain, so they put all these different, measures on it. It's a mystery God. So if you don't understand it, just what it is. And one of the most beautiful lesson that was unfolded for me when I first joined the temple was when Jesus, fed the multitude. 5 loaves of bread. And it was so above, so below in the demonstration, but when it was explained to me by my teacher, our Supreme Grand Sheikh, was it made it where it wasn't no magic basket. It was, the best form of flattery is imitation, right? To imitate. So people saw Jesus feeding with his little bit of lunch he had, and they started mimicking. I mean, that made it like, dang, now that I can wrap my head around, then it being some daggone magic basket. Or just Jesus walking on the water, right? After he did his demonstration, and he's on the boat with the disciples, and they arguing back and forth in the stormy seas. And so that whole demonstration is a parable. Is the water represented emotions. And when Jesus said, "Peace, be still," it was basically for them to shut the hell up. I'm resting. Y'all up here arguing about something that it doesn't need to be argued about. And so a lot of things that happened and occurred during the time of Jesus and before the so-called crucifixion, it was all symbolic. The Bible is written metaphorically, allegorically, and symbolically. And so when you understand that, then it kind of puts it in a different perspective where you have a greater respect and information that you can absolutely wrap your head around. It didn't be mysterious. So our prophet utilized our Circle 7 Quran, and that's like the fillet knife to cut through the spooky stories and all the isms and schisms out of the Quran and Mecca and out of the Bible. So you have a fillet knife taking away all the bones, all the scales and everything, and just leave you with the pure faith of Islam. Notice in the Circle 7 Quran that it doesn't speak about hellfire like the Bible and the Quran of Mecca. Our Circle 7 Quran doesn't speak of if you don't do this, you'll be damned. If you don't do that, you'll be damned. And because the greatest lesson that in our Circle 7 Quran is when Jesus met with the Buddhists, right? Mm-hmm. And it was on a Friday holy day, mm-hmm. and they was that chapter 11, right?
Mm-hmm. No, chapter 12. Then it's 12. No, chapter 11 was a sacred book.
Right, chapter,
yeah. So it's chapter 12.
Yeah. And so, okay, yeah. chapter 12. And so Jesus teaches the common people at the springs and tells them how to attain internal happiness. Now, this was when Jesus was watching folks toil, they working and whatever. And Jesus like saying, why y'all look like y'all, all sad and, how many times we go to work and people like, oh, here we go. You just showed up, you ready to go home. And people ain't got jobs and you up here, why you in a position and working and you don't, you don't like you. So you created a day of hardship from here. You already started out wrong. And so they said toil should make this what Jesus said. Let's go. Where? Oh yeah. So Jesus spoke to him and said, why y'all so sad? Have you no happiness in life? We step out of our bed in the morning and you give your prayers before you go, get in your car or walk out your door. You always supposed to be in a frame of mind. It's going to be a great day. Already. No matter what chaos or BS you're going to deal with at work, I guarantee you a lot of it will you because of the energy you bring. Already in a good spirit. Anybody want to deal with that? And generally if people, if they can't have a nice day, don't go around messing up somebody else's. So here's Jesus, he's saying, why y'all have no happiness in life? So they didn't even wake up with prayer and giving praises to Allah. They didn't wake up with gratitude. If you wake up just having and reflect on 2 or 3 things you're grateful for every single day, it will open your heart up to like, wow, yeah. It just puts you in a feel-good measure to where you're not going to allow the little stuff to trip you up. And Jesus spoke to one and said, why y'all so sad? Y'all have no happiness in life? And the man replied, we scarcely know the meaning of that word. We told to live. How many people, we work from check to check. We just come here to work to pay bills. What kind of life is that? You just work to pay bills. We hope for nothing else. We hope for nothing else but toil. Right? And bless the day when we can cease our toil and lay down and rest in Buddha's city of the dead. It sounds like them slave Negro song, Sweet love, sweet chair, we gonna toil until we go to the grave. I mean, it's like, what are we doing? And then Jesus had said it so beautifully when he talked about, how people think of heaven. He said that, do you not know such heaven is before you? The man replied, of heaven we heard, but it's so far away. We must live so many lives before we reach that place. And Jesus said, brother man, your thoughts are wrong. Your heaven is not far away. It is a place. It's not a place of meets and bounds. It's not a place in the sky. It's not a place with the cities trimmed with gold and people walking around with chicken wings on their back. That would scare the hell out of me. What the hell is that? The chicken wings flying? What are we doing?
Put them in the pot.
And then he said, Allah never made a heaven for man. He never made a hell. Let me say that again. Allah never made a heaven for man. He never made a hell. We are creators and make our own. What you talking about? We make our own heaven. Heck yeah. They say Sufis, we some selfish people. They say we selfish. We impatient and we selfish. You know why you say that? Because we ain't waiting to go to die to experience heaven. We experiencing it now. Right now. We are experiencing our heaven on earth now. by here. Thought is the cause of it all. And once you get your thoughts ready and in mindset, whoo, your thoughts will aid you. If it ain't right, your thoughts will create all kind of calamities. I'll be looking at some of my clients and I'll be like, dang, they the same age as my daughter and they look damn older than me. I'm like, what the? And they be sitting up there saying, well, Miss Isis, you know, you younger than me, you don't understand. And I was like, ooh, let me not tell them. I don't want to make them feel even worse than what they feeling. But it's a state of mind. Is where you at. And it's not to say that we don't go through our hiccup moments. You know, it's that statement we say it's okay not to be okay sometimes, because that's the times where, like Jesus, you know, he went into the wilderness, you know, to have that meeting with self. And so sometimes we have to make sure that we make room to go into the mind to have that conversation. Is that negative talk. You know, if you think of that cartoon with the little devil on the shoulder, yeah, go ahead and do it, you're going to do it. And the little angel on the side, nah, you need to stand down, don't do that. You know, and the little devil with the pitchfork, you know, sticking you and you got to do like that to the devil, ping, and clip him off. And hold fast, because this too, you know, this too shall pass, and you have to garnish the strength of the struggle, so you have enough to get through the next one. When you look at some of the stuff you went through in the past,
upstairs, I'll be back down. I said I'm finna go upstairs. I'll be back down.
I'm gonna close out. I'll close out. I'm sorry, but it's when you have that strength and you know that, in spite of what you're going through, Allah got your back. Allah got your back. Don't give up. As Chief Minister says, don't leave before the miracle.
She be complaining I don't get down here on time. Call me. Then I come down and she just call.
Did you bring the other Quran upstairs? The leather one?
One level.
Because I want to see that.
One level.
My Quran. The brown one.
Oh yeah, I think the brown is upstairs.
Yeah. Putting greasy hands on my stuff.
That's what grease is for. I'm waiting to see myself. I'm fast. I'm still slowing down over here. I rise in all perfect praises to Allah, Father of the universe, Father of sin and unknown. Giving hounds to Allah, manifested in our Prophet through his teachings, etc. I say Islam, Islam, Islam. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Islam, Islam, Islam. You know, this week has been a surprising week. Past week has been a surprising week. Being sued, because I won't let somebody else teach their gospel here. And I was, you know, looking at that, and I was like, wow. And then I was looking, going over the internet, looking at stuff, and I was like, okay. I've come to the conclusion we can't work with everybody, because everybody's not workable. You know, there's a track record, which means you've been doing the same lying and deceiving all the time. What's gonna make you change? And that's a person that's lost. And the Satan kills two birds with one stone with that, because Satan also gets people that's innocent to follow him. Well, let me say this here. There's not enough room for hell in heaven. There's not enough room for hell in heaven. Some people believe you can squeeze hell into heaven. Some people are the concept that you can ride with the devil and go to heaven. Lay down. But you can get so ingrained with hell that your ass on fire, and you be looking for the smoke. Man, where did smoke come from? Everywhere I go, some smoke. I remember this sister that used to be a member of the temple. She said, I wonder where everywhere I go, there's flies. I said, so that's a hell of a thing for you to put up there. Everywhere I go, it seems to be flies. Why am I attracting flies? Because you're dead. You'd have to be dead to attract flies. But anyway, so I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm like, where do these people come from? That they believe they can squeeze a little hell in heaven. I've been teaching for years and decades. You can't come through the temple door here and bring hell with you. Now, it's according how strong you is with your devil. That's why the brother suing me. Because he came through the door and I just stopped all that hell. I just raised my hand and a little light, and he couldn't take it with his dark eyes. So he had to back up and tell me the next day, well, I'm suing you. I said, who are you suing? I'm suing you. Suing me for what? Because you won't let me teach what I need to teach. But you don't know nothing. Well, my father taught me such and such, such and such. Okay. So I understand he got a mental issue. But I also understand he's been well trained in this mental issue. So you can be so well trained in your mental issue, you don't even know you got it. You don't know why you're doing the dumb stuff you're doing. Because you don't know you got it. Because you're not checking self. I just upstairs and the brother telling me, well, you know, everybody's born or more. The prophets say we descendants of Moroccans and born in America. And I'm like, shut the hell up, pretty please. Can't nobody change your descendant nature. There's a difference between descendant nature and nationality, fool. Why do you think those two words exist? You didn't see the prophecy you can say. That your descendant nature is your nationality? I said, brother, I can trace myself to the first man. Woo, woo, woo. That's his other fool, Tazir something. I said, brother, how you gonna trace yourself to I can trace myself. This is how you trace yourself to the first man. I trace myself all the way back to the sundry dry moors and woo woo to the first man. I said, what? I said, you done learned somebody else's plight, now you claiming it. And this is our problem. People in the more scientific America joining the temple and coming under leaders is unqualified to lead. They don't know enough to even lead themselves. They come here because they see all the confusion. My son, I was just reading some stuff my son has said. Well, you know, there's a room my daddy put me out, and that's just, I did put your hands out. I told you to get the hell out. That ain't no damn rumor. I said, get the hell out. I don't play that. I told you to your face. I didn't tell you to your back. I said, boy, what are you going to do? I don't know. I said, listen, you can't play with me. Get the hell out. I kicked you out the house and everything. And then you start telling Moors running, my daddy kicked me out, and the girls I went to, they didn't like my pretty butt no more. I had to sleep in the park. Under the viaduct. That's what you telling people. Well, I had to put you out. I'm the one that sent for you. Me and my wife picked you up at the bus station. I brought you to the house, and I told you before you got here, boy, you can't play with my religion. I skeeted you out. You ain't skeeted me out. You made for my sales. I'm not made from yours. And I told you I don't learn from my children. My children learn from me. And I told you, but when you got here, you can't play with my God. Now all he's teaching is a reverbed stuff of Dr. York. You know, you got to learn this language. The prophet didn't learn nobody else's language, so you can understand what that fool's saying. If he in America, I'm like the Europeans, speak English. When you go in the liquor store, the ass talking all that hallelujah, but you go in the liquor store, everything in English. They'll sell CB7 with the in Arabic. When I was in California, they were selling crack cocaine. They weren't selling it in Arabic. Dr. Yusuf Bey pointed out, you are Arab, you can't drink alcohol, but you got alcohol association. How in the hell that works? Where your religion at? You ain't no different than a damn Christian. You have an alcoholic association, the Arab alcohol. Now check that. Your religion say you can't drink. Your religion say you can't, but you can sell it to me. Your God is corrupt if he accepts this stuff. You ain't no different than a Christian. He loved Jesus, but he enslaved you. I remember when I come into the temple, I think about 78, it was 78, 79, I was in the temple talking, and I read this article, and one of the guides, Moorish, back then it was called the Moorish Voice, and I was reading it, and they were saying Kirkman Bey had to vouch for these brothers that went to Morocco. A bunch of brothers got together, and they go into the Holy Land, they go into our country where we come from as Moroccans, and they got put into slavery. They went to Morocco. Then some guy conned them and said, I'm going to take you where your people in the Rifian Mountains, I'm going to take you up to and Bada Bada Buddha. Got them brothers up there and had them in slavery. A bunch of them never came home. The ones that escaped that finally got home, they told a horrible story. But every time I turn around, we're looking at some brother with his beard dyed red and he got the poker nose degree. Yeah, those Moors, they're not Muslim. They're shirk, they're this and that. Of course, nigga, carry your ass to Africa. Go over there to Libya and tell them what type of Muslim you is so they can cut your balls off. So they can castrate you, rape your woman. And, you know, we got the best thing going. We got our own prophet. And he brought us salvation. Like Jesus brought it to the Jews, but they rejected him. They faked with Moses. Moses went gone 40 days and they changed their draws. Muhammad never established none of this stuff they had. Now I'm waiting for this sucker, the Moors on the deen. I hope you hear me, because you be listening. Come on our show tonight. I'm ready for you. Don't be like high noon. You better be quick on the draw. I ain't got to be fast, I just got to be shorter than you. I'm aiming for your head. Come on. Don't tell me. You know, there's some dirty Arabs, there's some dirty Moors. Well, you a dirty Moor. I already know who the dirty Moor between me and you. You the dirt. You ain't even good dirt. Hello. Y'all come over here with this funny stuff. You want to sell me nationality packages. You want to give me how to drive without license. You want to do all this dumb stuff, but you ain't teaching me what the prophet brought. I want y'all to be careful. Listen to these people. Where are you getting these teachings from? It's not from the prophet, therefore it's not from the Moorish scientific of America. I just go across the country. What is Moorish science? Well, you know, Moorish science is this, you know, Moorish science. Ain't nobody there to tell me what Moorish science is, just like can't nobody tell you what spirituality is. What is spirituality? I'm spiritual. I believe in whoop bop ba bang. I'm spiritual. I got a little rock around my neck. This rock, this glass rock, transform my energy into monkeyism. To monkeyism. You know, monkeyism is evolution. You evolving. I ain't who I am yet, but I'm gonna get there. You know. You know. And I just be looking, I'm like, where all these Moors, so-called, and other people are following them. Brother told me up there, that's why you hardly got no members. Hell, Jesus said everybody ain't gonna be saved. My prophet ain't but a handful. What's a handful?
He said it's gonna get down to a handful, where the Grand Sheik is opening up and no one comes.
Yes. And the Queen Mother just said it right. The prophet's gonna get down to such a handful, the Grand Sheik gonna open up the meeting, ain't nobody gonna be there but him. Shut the hell up. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. You ain't been taught. Hell. Y'all want to give me all this European. Y'all Christians. Y'all ain't no Muslims. Y'all Christians. You can't read with understanding. Hey. And then you come at me like I'm the worst person you come at because this is my neighborhood. This ain't Mr. Rogers. Jack didn't build this damn house. This house built on what I learned from the prophet, what I learned from my grandfather. And that's who built this house. This house is not the house that Jack built. You know, and this ain't Mr. Rogers' damn neighborhood. Well, and when you sit down and you actually get to talking to them, they tell you about everything but what the prophet wrote. You know, sovereignty, you know. Well, anytime somebody knows the difference between nationality and descendant, you know they stupid. You know you gotta be stupid.
Sure.
You know, and you're dumb. Stupid and dumb. What woman want a stupid and dumb man?
That's double trouble.
That's not double trouble. That's dead. Why would you want something that's dead? He's stupid and dumb. Listen, when I was pimping, I didn't want a stupid and dumb hoe.
No. Oh no.
Hell, because she trick on one hand and get her money back. Don't nobody want a trick and dumb hoe. Sisters be all up here flashing, telling me, I'm so glad I'm a Moorish America. You ain't, listen. When I was in my youth, I used to tell people, I said, after I met y'all, I want y'all to meet me at the Grand Canyon. I got a machine gun. I'm gonna fill the Grand Canyon up just with y'all. I'm just gonna shoot y'all. Bang, bang. But what you say is bang. What you say is bang. Well, right, what gives you right? Because you're so stupid and dumb. You're making stupid and dumb children. Have you noticed the children are more stupid and dumb today than they was 30 years ago? We grew up when God was Black Power, we wanted to be something. These children want to grow up and be what? Rappers? Basketball stars? What do these children want to be? The women want men that make more money than them. Yes, you gotta have 6 figures, but you ain't got no figures. What the hell are you talking about? You ain't got no shape. You ain't. Well, why would I do that for you? What do you got? 3 ounces of pressure? I could buy a dial for $3,000 and get the same shit now. I was just looking, they got them little plastic dials. Them dials look good. Yeah, you can get your plastic, do everything, and don't even cry about it. The dial ain't gonna cry about nothing. Bend over this way. Dial. Hell. Yeah, I don't need no 6-figure woman. I can get a dial for $3,000. Now I'm talking. Give me a dial for $3,000. The hell I need a headache for? What you bring to the, I bring myself. That ain't enough. Your mama didn't even like you. Your mama put your ass out there. You coming over talking about what I gotta have. Hey, I don't want no headache. I got tired of taking Tylenol extra, Tylenol Supreme, Tylenol with knockout pills. Hell. Every time I turn around, I'm looking at Moors, and Moors look just like Negroes. Some of them got 6-pointed stars on their neck, double-headed eagles, and all this Masonic stuff, and they just going for it. Brother was so stupid. Brother gonna tell me this here. But brother right here, we taught the world everything. We taught them civilization. We taught them how to make brick. We taught them how to chew bubble gum. Nigga, then you gonna turn around and tell me he told you you weren't black, you was a Moor. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. I said, brother, you gonna tell me we taught the European everything, how to wipe his booty, how to stand up like a man and piss. Then he turned around and tells you, oh, you're not black, sir, you're a Moor. Oh, I didn't know that. How dumb, I mean, so they give you a dumb response to an intelligent answer. And then the brother had the nerve to send me the definition of Moor according to the Greek and and the Romans. Well, see, right, I said, the Europeans still teaching this Negro. What it is, I tell Moors shouldn't be Masons. The prophet took the Masonic fez off of brother head in 1928 and said, son, now that I'm here, you don't need this no more. That's when Masons were leaving the lodge to come to the temple. Now you Negroes leaving the temple to go back where you was. You weren't in the lodge, you was in the cave. You was in Christianity, you was lost. You should return to that state that you never left. You turn into that state that you never left. You can't read without understanding. If you could, you read chapter 47, and they tell you that the Moabite, Hittites, Ammonites came to this land together. Everybody can't be a Moorish American by birth, Negro. If the Canaanite, Hittites, and Ammonites and Hammatites came over here with us, that's matter though. That should tell you something. But since you had no understanding, it's like brother talking about the Zodiac Constitution. Look at this. See that? Can you see the book?
It's yeah, small.
Can you see it now? The book says you have a new astrological birthday, a new personality, a new future. Astrology 14, the most exciting discovery in astrology in 2,000 years. 14 signs. You have to be stupid to believe it's only 14. You look in the sky, how many stars you see? Billions. And they only made 12 damn signs? There must be some big signs. Them signs too big to be counted.
Looking for your grandson.
Oh.
But Moors go for that. C.M. Bay, he was the prophet's top student. C.M. Bay got kicked out the temple. He the one that brought up that Moor science stuff.
That's the brother said that you would get your just reward line on C.M. Bay.
Who?
The brother had said you would get your just reward lying on C.M. Bay. He didn't get kicked out.
How you know he wasn't there? I know the people that was there. And it's recorded. They call that witchcraft.
That's in the old statement.
Yeah. See, but they want to believe in that. See, this is the thing. Negroes are the only people happy with slave master teaching. I can prove it. Who castrated you and put you on a boat and raped your mama and stuff? A Christian slaveholder. Who did he buy you from? He brought you from an Arab slaveholder. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get this stuff straight here. Now, when I was coming up, the movie said, don't you want to get rid of that white man's name? I said, what do you mean? You know, my name was Swanigan. Don't you want to get rid of Swanigan and get a holy name, Islamic name? I said, what's the Islamic name? Akbar. Wait, ain't that an Arab name? No, you don't understand. No, I don't think you understand. You want me to jump over Africa? First of all, y'all want me to shoot straight to Europe with a Christian name. Then you want me to jump over Africa and go to Arabia with a Muslim name. But wait a minute. Africa is nowhere in Asia, Asia Minor. Where was Africa at? You got Europe and America, right? Then you got the Arabs and the Chinese. Where's Africa at? They been so isolated you don't even know you've been put out. You the only person ain't eating at the dinner table. And you think you fool.
That's crazy.
Pardon. I was looking at the statistics. Our women have more babies out of wedlock than anybody else. And we have to look at that. Why is it so common? When I was coming up, they said, "Where Mary at?" Oh, she went down south with her mama. She had something in the oven. What? You know, they would have cold word. They wouldn't let that be out. If you down south, they sent you up north. Wasn't nobody proud of that. I mean, look at our children today. I mean, we are horrible. I was listening to something that Richard Nixon said, and he was talking about we just like children. And he was talking, and they showed the basketball players, at least they can play sports. They can sing and dance. That's something they can hold to their credit. But they like children. They're always asking and begging for stuff. I'm like, Dad, you got that on. It's like we like chicken and watermelon. You know, chicken and watermelon. And when I look at these Moors, these so-called Moors, I'll be like, we got the greatest signs in the world, but you ain't practicing it. We had a prophet, but you not following him. You let some person come from the street in your temple and tell you why he left someplace else. I put my son out and these fools following him. And now he going to tell them it's a rumor I kicked him out. I'm clearing up the rumor right now. I put his ass out. It ain't no rumor. I took my right foot, pivoted on my left foot and kicked his ass out. He the only grand she got no taking pictures in the bathroom. I ain't never seen a Supreme Grand Sheik taking pictures in the damn bathroom.
He the second Supreme.
Yeah, then he tell everybody he number 2. Allah made him something. I mean, y'all go for anything but the truth. Think about that. Y'all go for anything but the truth. Why y'all gobble up the lie? Well, Mo, that's why you ain't hardly got no money. I don't need a lot of lies around me. I'd rather have one faithful person with a lie than have 1,000. No, I'll take that back. I'd rather have 1,000 monies. They can stay with it, but they can give me their money. No, I ain't. I'd rather have one faithful than 10,000 hypocrites with me. Usually I could work with 10,000 hypocrites. And see, that's the issue. The man of God has never had a lot of friends. The man of God has never attained to the billionaire status. I was sitting up with the Queen Mother and we was just talking, so I'm going to do a couple magazines. One is called about being the chief minister, the Sheikh ministry, and a couple more. You know, the question is, why are people so quick to gobble up doo-doo and spit out truth? Why we need doo-doo so quick? But don't eat sugar like that. Don't eat the honey that Allah gave. He said the liquor, milk, and honey. We try to avoid the milk and honey. Our women sit up there. I got to You can go to bed with a fool, but you got the truth you got to listen to. I mean, think about that. You can go to bed with a man lying to you out of both pantyhose legs. You can go to sleep with him. But the person telling you the truth, you got to study. Don't you? That tells you something. That tells you something. I just sit up there and I was just like, wow, sister, how you go with that nigga there? Well, I like me high yellow. I just asked about my son. They just like you because you're high yellow and you got my eyes. You didn't look like me when nobody like you, dumb butt. Yeah. I look at him. Then he gonna try and tell me, you trying to be Arab. You got more pictures when you dressed up like Arab than I am. We went to the Fay's restaurant. I was talking to a guy that looked just like my son. He had his turban on just like, and I showed him. He said, that looks like my cousin. I showed my son's picture to this guy. He said he looked just like my cousin. But y'all follow people. Why is it easy for you to hold on to a lie? That's my question. You come into a spot of God where you're supposed to be learning the truth. But you go in the house of God where there's a liar sitting at the table. The prophet said there's something going on wrong in your temple, in your grand body. And the grand sheik, the supreme grand sheik, the grand governor know what's going on wrong. He don't do nothing about it. It's because he's in on the wrong. So I got to start wondering about these people. How you following these people and you know they're wrong? I looked at this sister on the internet and I was thinking. It was telling me that the sister went to Chicago after she got pregnant by the brother. And the brother had her living in the basement of the temple. I said, what? Because he had a wife. It wasn't his wife, his girlfriend. He called her his wife. You know, they do that type of stuff over there. Y'all don't be really married. Y'all just be girlfriend, boyfriend, and you just throw the title up there. That's why we invented the law here that if you touch it, you got to marry her. See, if you touch it, you got to marry her. If she let you touch it, she got to marry her. So you got to know what you're doing. I'm tired. I've been looking at all this dumb stuff. I had a brother call me and tell me that him, my son, and him that he'd have fallen out with my son. I know my son gonna fall out with you because hell, you fell out with me. And woo. I said, okay. I got other people I kicked out. They didn't join other groups, and they happy. You know. But I try to figure, how you follow somebody by the name of Tahakabaka? How you follow Tahakabaka? You know, I be wondering, how do you follow Tahakabaka? You know, this is one of the craziest niggas I've ever seen. I mean, he talk about everybody else, but he ain't got no position. I challenged the Negro. I'm the only one that challenged him. He ain't come on my show and talk to me about nothing. I came on his show. I said, nigga, I come on your show. 2018, I came on your show in April. Live and in color. I wasn't afraid of you. You lied to me. I didn't have to lie to you about nothing. See, that's the thing. You're lying out both pantyhose legs. Why do people like liars? Well, my third wife, her and her girlfriend used to talk, and they walk away. I said, did she believe the stuff you say? She said, what do you mean? You lying out both? I said, she lying too. They lied so much. This is how she got busted cheating on me. Girl called me. I said, well, when Monica come in, can you tell her such and such? I said, yes, I'll tell her. Monica come in to that morning. I was asleep. So the girl called me next day. I thought you was going to tell Monica what I said. I said, Monica told me she was with you. How come you didn't tell her? She said, huh? What? I said, Monica told me she was with you at 3 o'clock in the morning. How come you didn't tell her that shit? She hung up. She ain't called my house after that. The woman ain't called my house after that. She busted yourself. Monica said she was with you all night. So why you call me to tell me, get mad at me that I didn't tell her? You could have told her your damn self y'all was together. Sister said, what? Huh? I said, okay. Then some nigga called the house. You know, I'm not like that petty punk type nigga. I'd rather see you get busted. You know, and I put you out. So, guy called the house and ring, answer the phone. And I put them on. I said, well, what do you want? He wanted me to do his wife's dress. I said, what? So they get married and I'm doing her dress secretly. I ain't never in my life heard a woman want to get a wedding dress made that she don't know getting made. Her future husband is designing and making the dress, and you will tell her, but you don't know her size. You don't know where she got them little lumps at or not lumps. You don't know if she's squared or round. You don't even know. I said, call that nigga. She said, what? I said, call him back. Period. And you better dial 6 numbers so you pick up the phone. Period. Her brother in the house, her brother said, she said, her brother said, Raheel, you know it's 7 digits. I said, this nigga better answer on 6. Cause I'm gonna be popping her head on 7. Why you be hitting him? He just, I say, you stupid. You stupid girl. You know, I'm tired of stupid people. I mean, and you look at me like I'm supposed to be stupid with you. I don't voluntarily be stupid with you. I'm not voluntary. That ain't my job. Hey, people tell me, you're a minister, you ain't supposed to talk like that. Didn't God drown off a whole people? Your God done killed millions of people for simple shit. You ate a pig, God killed you. You worship the rock, God killed you. But I can't call you a dumb motherfucker. How that work? Now I'm going to say it again. God killed people for worshiping rocks. God killed people for having a baby. God killed Adam and Eve because one ate a damn apple. But I can't call you a dumb motherfucker. Explain that to me intelligently. Make it make sense. Well, you're a minister, you're supposed to know better. That's why I can do what I do. Because I am a minister. You're lucky I ain't God. If God killed you for apple, I kill you for breathing. Get that sucker. Get that sucker. Next breath he take, just take him out. Take all of them out. Just don't take one. Take them all out. The one in front and the one in back.
Leave them where you found them.
Yeah. Go over there, death angel. Leave them where you find them. The hell. Y'all should be tired of dumb stuff. As a people, listen. Trump in office because you stupid. Trump didn't just get in office because white people liked him. A bunch of dumb black people voted for him. A bunch of Muslims voted for him. You'd be surprised if people voted for him. So he can do the dumb stuff he's doing to you. The man can come take everything from me, but he can't take my God. I spit on him. Now, in fact, I'm thinking about writing him a letter asking for some money.
No, that's
Hell, you know you got these dumb people. Can I get $1 million? Hell. I mean, just think about it for a moment. All the dumb people around you with PhDs. Now, the people that's real dumb got the PhDs. They think they know something. I done sat with Jerry Brown, the governor of California. I done sat with Governor Dukakis. I done sat with mayors. And I ain't even graduate. I just go to Oakland City Hall. Come on in, Mr. Hill. The mayor see you. I even know Nancy Pelosi. That you ask, all you gotta do ask Brother Rasu. I used to send him down to her office. Because I lived in Oakland, he lived in San Francisco. I said, go down and talk to her for me. See what's going on. And we used to talk. I was trying to work something out, but Moors messed that up.
Oh yeah.
That let me know it's not our time yet, because Moors keep messing up. But when our time comes, we like the great flood. It's going to keep on coming. You got to be ready for the goodness that Allah has for us. Our God is great. He's wonderful. He's marvelous. He's beyond comprehension. Because the stuff he do is only a mystery because you don't know him. If you knew our God, it wouldn't be a mystery. Why do we suffer? Because we're in a world where suffering is part of life. Just like breathing, you're going to bump into a dummy. You exhale, a dummy going to show up. You inhale, dummy going to show up. Because they're producing more dummies than they do anybody else. I mean, if I hadn't got to know who the prophet is, I wouldn't be a Mo. I'm telling you, I wouldn't, because Moors are so stupid. You got a prophet. I mean, just think about that. Everybody got a prophet. Hold a prophet up. We the only people in the world say our prophet ain't perfect. We the only people in the world, we call them Noble Jew Ali. I know 5 Noble Jew Ali. I know 5 brothers that call themselves Noble Jew Ali. You ain't got respect to give him his title. New Jew Ali saved me. Who? New Ali saved me. You can't even speak English. We got a prophet. I mean, if you just let that simmer on your brain, cause you get it here, you get it here. If you get it here, you get it here. If you can think on it, you get it here. If you can see it, you get it here. It's on your arm. But if you lose it here, you lose it here. If you don't get it here, you don't get it there. See, these things are connected. What I mean by that? Your heart is pumping life in you. This is what gives you life. See, in your head is a thought. This is where your soul lives. And what keeps the body functioning is your life. What keeps your spirit up? Your life. I have been in some horrible positions, and God come through for me. Some people say, he came through for me like I wanted to. He saved your life. That's like you wanted. What do you mean that's not like you wanted? You wanted everything. I want $1 zillion, but I accept $1 million. I accept a couple 100,000. Right now I accept 50,000. Yeah. But I want $1 zillion. I got things I want to build. But I have to ask myself, the problem is we got so many fake Moors out there, and the fake Moors have some good Moors with them, and the good Moors are drawing the other good Moors to the power. See, a fake Moor, he can't draw nobody here, because he's going to get put out. The fake Moor going to be going with him. See, but you got a fake Moor that's leader of other fake Moors, they're going to have some good Moors with them, and the good Moors will get caught because we are people that's stubborn. Prophets say we're hard-headed and stuff. So we get caught up with a fake Mo, we don't want to leave him. We hard-headed and stuff. He gonna change, he gonna change. Like a woman getting beat in the head with a table leg every day. Every time you turn around, a man hit her in the head with a table leg. I know a sister. I forgot this brother's name. But he beat that sister up so bad. I said, baby, go put me some toast on the, bread on a toaster. That's where the bread was. I went in the kitchen. She got the bread sitting on the toaster. I said, what? I said, I thought you were going to make me some toast. You said put it on the toaster. I said, okay. So he done beat the hell out of you. Yeah. He said, he'll kill me if I leave. He'll kill me if I stay. I don't know what to do. Run. Anybody got any questions up there, Isis?
Nope.
Oh, the Mo and the Dean ain't on there?
Mm-mm.
He's scared. You know, Allah's God. Going and coming. And we had to start becoming thinkers. Religious, sound thinkers. The prophet said, if I get you to think, you can save yourself. You know, we have to look up stuff and see, why are we following somebody? How do you vet who you follow? If somebody asks you, why you following him? What can you say? What intelligent thing can you say why you following somebody? Well, I believe. Well, belief is what you think perhaps is so, but why are you following? The Quran say, "Oh ye who believe." It never say, "Oh ye who know." When you read the Quran of Mecca, you never see where it says, "Oh ye who know." It always, "Oh ye who believe." You can be a believer all your life and never know. Think about that. You don't know the difference between we, I, and the Lord. Think about that. You in a religious organization but don't know it. Brother talking about, that's wrong with y'all. Y'all ain't got no government. Who told you that? Y'all talking about y'all got a government, but hell, y'all worried about Trump. Russia ain't worried about Trump. Japan ain't worried. Ain't no other nation worried about Trump but you. What shall we do if Trump come to the house? What shall you do? You say you're government. You don't make no money because you ain't got nothing to back it. Bullshit can't back up money. Your bull cannot back up money. I don't care how many Donald Duck faces you put on your money. I remember somebody came to our temple doing one of our conferences, and they had to pay the yen. They brought a bunch of Donald Duck money. They had some gold and some silver bars. Well, man, keep that, man. And you can't get in. Well, this money, that's what you say. How much is a gold bar worth? So if a gold bar is, let's say, worth $3,000, how much is that thing you got worth? Well, I say it's worth $20. That's what you say. I don't trust you. Because you said I'm supposed to go for it. Could you please explain that? Because your mouth don't look like a Quran, Bible, Torah, or anything to me. It don't look like Jesus. You got the big, you bang your lips, but you don't look like Jesus. And they do that. People tell me, why you charge so much for this? Hell, you smoking all that ganja and reefer stuff. What they charge? You don't ask the man about that. When you go buy your reefer. When the woman go buy her fingernails and wig and stuff, she don't complain about that. If the man say $3,000, she go get $3,000. She go get that 6-figure nigga and get her hair. But you gonna ask, well, why it cost so much? Stop talking stupid. Either you want it or you don't. Well, the prophet said don't overcharge. I'm not overcharging on nothing. Prophet said certain words of his high, and you can get this at a cost. So if I do it, I can give you a cost. If you don't want it, go ahead on. It ain't hurt me. It ain't hurt me. I was on a Man show. Me and the Queen Mother. We went all the way to Michigan to be on the Son of Man show. And we sat there and we was talking. And he said, well, you know, God didn't tell me y'all was going to hear me and listen to me. I said, God said, my sheep know my voice. That's when I said, but I don't know your voice. That's when I called him. He said, huh? I said, I don't hear your voice. I said, how come you didn't go to God? You know, there's a guy out there called himself God. What was his name? Royal Allah. Called himself God. I said, why didn't you go talk to God? Well, God didn't want to talk to me like I thought. I said, that's a lie. Every time you turn around, God got a microphone, just like I do on this show. So you got any questions you can ask me. God let you walk up to the mic and ask him questions. He said, I did. That's it, but you just told me you never talked to God. Oh, I did one time, and I walked up to him. What did you ask him? I asked God a question, and I told him who I was. I was the son of man. I was coming to do such and such. He said, what did God tell you? God said, I didn't send you. God told you he didn't send you. So if he God, he knows if he sent you or not. You say you were sent by God, but God said he don't know your butt. Well, you know, and you not, and I got that man so off his square. He started telling me Elijah Muhammad was a failure. And I came on his show. Well, if you see, I got all these books, see you can't see yourself in the book. You can't show me yourself in the book. I said, them your pebbles, pick them up. Pebbles? Pebbles? Yes, Flintstone. Barney. And people called on that man's show and told me they understood me but didn't understand him. On his own show. See. So, pardon me. The issue is, why do you come to God's spot and want to bring hell with you? Why do you think a little hell is good in heaven? Why? I mean, you have to be down dastardly in your heart to try to bring hell into heaven. You have to be dastardly to want to bring hell into heaven. I like hell. I eat hell for breakfast. I eat doo-doo for breakfast. They like cornflakes. Doo-doo is like brown sugar. I put it on my cornflakes in the morning. That's why my breath smells fresh. Show you right. See, we have to come to understand who we follow, who we are part of. And when you come to that understanding, listen what I'm saying. I didn't say knowledge. I said understanding. You had knowledge, wisdom, and then come understanding. How come you don't understand who the prophet is? And he's your prophet. I mean, he's your prophet. He our prophet. He's not dead. He's my prophet. He's alive and well, living in me. Through him, I'm able to talk to my Father God, Allah. Through him, I'm able to understand my Father God, Allah. Through him, I'm able to understand who the hell I am, what I should be doing. The Spirit moves me to see things, to feel things that the average person don't see or feel. Why? Because you caught up in trying to hold on to truth and falsehood, and you can't do that. Truth and falsehood cannot stay in the same spot on equal terms. The higher self is the spirit of Allah, clothed in flesh, made in the form of Allah. Now, just that statement alone, the higher self is human spirit, clothed in flesh, made in the form of Allah. What is the form of Allah? They ain't teaching them. What is the form of Allah? Huh? What? Well, you know, Mo, religion can't say if it could, it would have. So I can't deal with that question. Okay. What you say, Mo? Oh, the prophet ain't perfect, so I can't have that lesson. Huh. Oh. The prophet, he worked with gangsters when he came to Chicago. Oh. The prophet had 2 wives. Oh. You ain't got none. I had to tell that to the brothers that I was up there in Detroit. And they come in the house and they was talking crazy. And the brother said, you say the prophet had 2 wives. I said, he did. Well, how come we don't know about it? Because you don't know the prophet. But anyway, let's not use that as far. Let's use it for how many wives do you have? None. You ain't got no wife. You worry about a man with 2 wives. You got all these baby mamas running around here. And you supposed to be a Muslim, a divine minister. We done made divinity look bad. I mean, How do you make God look bad? You supposed to be in heaven. When you come into the temple, you come in a place that's the doorway to the third heaven. So where the first two at? If that's the third heaven. Go to QT. QT. I'm looking at these sisters dressing half naked, showing their breasts and stuff. I'm like, you brought that to the temple? What happened to modesty? What happened to being dressed up like a woman? Women's got it so bad now, they trying to outdress each other. Well, I ain't gonna have nothing on tomorrow. I get your man, I ain't have nothing on tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I ain't wearing nothing. I ain't even gonna have no hair. I'm gonna cut my hair off. I ain't have nothing tomorrow. I'll just be bald and butt naked. And that you think you will get a man. You ain't gonna get no man there. What made them think they can get a man like that? You can get a pimp. You can get a simp. Can't get no man because you walking around there. You know. Hell, a dog got a better chance of getting a master than you do a man. I say that again. A dog got a better chance of getting a master than you have getting a man. Shoot. And I just be looking up like, Mo man, woo, 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 woo. I got so many more up here. Let me see if anybody asks me something. Let me see. Maybe somebody did me directly. Oh, this brother here say, what's this about here? Let me get this. Let me get this here. This Pharaoh. Look at this. Look at that. Now this brother trying to argue with me.
He don't know you.
Now, he got these big fake silver chains on his neck. He got a woman crescent a star in his turban. This is a ready-made turban. Now, what woman want a man that can't wrap his own damn turban? Pharaoh reads, Moorish Americans, because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America, not because of a temple builder, and made the object nor men's or women's, and it can give you your nationality. No one can change the descent nature of man. Listen. I'm gonna let y'all know something. Y'all might remember y'all say something stupid like that. I'm gonna smack you my damn self. I'm gonna take my cane and try to knock your eyes out your head. Represent me with some dumb, looking like a little bee. I mean, he got that big crescent and star in his forehead. Don't you know why the prophet put the woman there? That's not for a man. And it's a ready-made term. Some of you pop off, pop on. That's not. Men don't do. We have a law up there. We have everything up there. Not a crescent and star, fool. Like that other brother, he let his member name his baby the holy name. I sent him a picture of an ugly baby. And he said, that ain't my baby. That's what he's going to look like on the inside. How you, woo! We have so disrespected this movement, so disrespected our leadership. Our leadership is not right. Our leadership is Allah. And the prophets leading on so we can have victory, that's sure. Allah is leading on, so victory is assured. And Allah is leading on through our prophet. I'm just a guide. I'm just the first colored person in line. I'm just the first black man in line. I'm just the first coon in line. I'm just the first snicker in line. I'm just the first amongst the first. I'm here by practice. I'm here by word, action, deeds. You know, I got letters from people from around the country. Now, when you can sit down, catch it. One of your leaders sit down and debate with any other leader about the truth. I've been all across the country. I didn't talk to some of the top imams of different grand bodies, of different religious groups. I done sat with some top so-called Moorish leaders. I done sat down with some top Jewish leaders. And I didn't lose. And nor did I seek to win. What I sat down with them to defend my prophet and myself. You know, I'm 74. I've been doing this since I've been 25. No, you know, next year I've been done this 50 years. Next year I've been in this 50 years. 50 years of my life have been growing up, what you call growing pain, learning about my prophet and myself, learning to master myself. 50 years. Sucker come here from yesterday, started talking, he know more about the prophet than I do. How you know that? Who? You ain't said, you don't know nobody that know the prophet. On the back of my nationality card with George Kluge's name, back of George Kluge's name, on his nationality card, Prophet Noble Jwali. That's how close I am to the prophet. My adopted grandfather then walked and talked with the prophet. Not only that, the prophet found that he could use them. He sent one out to Stafford Temple number 13 in Baltimore, Maryland. He became one of the first men to put a black fez on his head. The prophet put a black fez on his head. His brother became what? The head, the Grand Sheik of Temple number 19 in Baltimore, Maryland. This black fez represents the black fez that the prophet put on his head that he put on my head. And all the days that I knew George Kluge and I Kluge, one wore the red fez, one wore the black fez. George Kluge wore the black fez, and he wore a robe just like the. I used to say, I used to go to convention. He had my robe just like the prophet. My robe looked like the prophet. Prophet put it, and I said, okay. And I've never been a mufti in the temple. I remember when they tried to corner me in 1980 convention after George Cook put the fez on my head. They said, "Are you a mufti?" I said, "No." "What you doing on here?" I said, "Ask him." I pointed to George Cook. I said, "Ask him." They said, "Did you say the prophet put it on my head and I put it on his head?" They couldn't say nothing. But they passed a law. If you wasn't a mufti, you couldn't wear a black fez over there. So I was the only one over there besides George Cook that wore a black fez and wasn't a mufti. And they used to teach me. I used to go to his house and sit down and eat baked chicken and drink bleach water. We used to talk. I'd ask him questions. He showed me the letters that the prophet sent him, and we would talk about that and other things. He taught me adeptly, so that I would know as much as I should know. I should have learned more, but that's my fault. So George Kluge is still my teacher because I'm still learning about what he told me. I Kluge's brother, I'm still learning what he told me because I'm still learning from him. The first Queen Mother, Sister Pearl Ali, I'm still learning from her. I'm still learning from Sister C. Price Bay. I'm still learning from Brother Booker Bay. All them was with the prophet. I just sit down, bug them. What did brother say when we was down there in Virginia? I'm like a Jew.
Yep.
You always want something. I do. That's how I got to know my prophet.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Hey, for real. And I would be on that What the prophet said? Give me that. Let me see that. Let me see that. Let me get that paper. Let me get this. Let me get that. That's how I got all this information. That's why I'm putting it in a book form now so that my members can have it. I'll be through with it by the beginning of the year. We went yesterday to make copies more. You know, I didn't know black and white was 80 cents.
It went up that quick.
85.
85. No, we thought the color was 85. The thing is 85. We thought we was paying for color ISIS. I had all them papers up there. I said, Mom, I'm buying some ink. I ain't got no time to sit there and print this stuff out here 85 cents a page. And I got over 100 pages. Yeah, I can go buy my own damn ink. Yeah. Prophet told me to use my 5 cents, so I'm not going to sit up here and do this ink. Yeah. Okay. Go pick up a sister. Oh, let me give y'all some light.
Appreciate that, man. There you go.
Yeah.
Huh? Can I get one of those scoopies, man?
No.
That's for the soup. Okay.
Where you get one, man?
I appreciate it, bro.
Get one?
Yeah,
You gonna be a superstitious kid?
go ahead, brother.
It's not up.
He didn't hear you.
He heard me. Just face it. You know, that's what he tell you. He heard me.
Have a good day.
So listen. So now he's in the dark, just flash a light on.
Right.
There you go. There you go. All right, sister.
It's not.
When you gonna come into the temple for real, sister?
You said when?
Yeah, as a member.
That's what we're here.
We who? His name on my record. Your name ain't.
Right, but that's why I'm here.
You here
So we
for
can
it?
learn and.
What is it gonna be learning for a lifetime?
Mhm.
It's a lifetime learning.
Mhm.
You know, so you have to make up your mind.
Right.
I'm just rushing you.
I see.
If I didn't like you, I wouldn't rush you.
We never said we don't rush or
No,
pressure
we
anyone.
don't. But I do. I lied. Islam, y'all be safe. Keep the lights on.
Bismillah, Bismillah.
Bismillah, Bismillah. Straighten my Bismillah out here, ISIS. Make it straight, fella. Push it over some. Alrighty. Is that right?
Do you do one the big in the east and one in the west?
Oh, yeah. Now turn it that way. Turn the way you just had. Yeah. There, we're gonna put them. I'm gonna figure out how to put them right there. That's what I need. Them right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This was the light coming from now from the west. The light is no longer coming out the east. It's just a reflection.
It's on.
All right, Mo, you close this out. Come on, man. Come on, get your spoil, buddy. What?
Islam. We continue to rise, giving eternal praise to Allah. High honors to our holy and divine prophet, Noble Durali. And this day we give honors to all whom honors are due. Islam. We're reading from the Holy Quran, the Moorish Science Temple of America, chapter 32. Holy instructions from the prophet, charity. As it reads, happy is the man who has sown his breast to seeds of benevolence. The produce thereof shall be charity and love. From the fountain of his heart shall rise rivers of goodness, and the stream shall overflow for the benefit of mankind. He rejoices in the prosperity of all men. He assists the poor in their troubles. He censureth not his neighbor. He believeth not the tales of envy and malevolence, neither repeateth he their slander. He forgiveth the injuries of men. He wipeth from his remembrance. Revenge and malice have no place in his heart. For evil he returneth not evil. He hateth not even his enemies, but requireth their injustice with a friendly admonition. The griefs and anxieties of men excite his compassion. He endeavoureth to alleviate the weight of their misfortune, and the pleasure of success rewardeth his labour. He calmeth the fury. He healeth the quarrels of angry men. and preventeth the mischief of strife and animosity. He promoteth in his neighborhood peace and goodwill, and his name is repeated with praise and benediction. As always, we thank those who continue to support the Moorish temples of Islam. And just you saw the man put $20 down last night. So there are men waiting to put thousands of dollars in the progress of this divine movement. And I in turn use among the temples, seeing that you are confident. I can show many illustrations. I have demonstrated that you may use my money if your heart is right, pure, and just. So, this is a New Year's celebration. Turn over a new leaf, you Moors. This is the beginning of new business. The heads of all temples, Grand Sheik, Grand Sheikas, must confirm themselves to the divine principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They must live the life among the members and be loved by them as even the prophet is loved. They must not practice the principle of segregation among any group in his or her temple. Would that be a good Moor? Let it be he or she that is head of any temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that there come any grievances. Notify the prophet instantly and do not attempt to quiet among yourselves. All heads of all temples are to constrict and conform to these laws from the prophet, Noble Drali. The Moorish Science Temple of America, this is dated October the 17th, 1928. To the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam. This is the instruction from your prophet, Noble Drali. Be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you saw in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on, but the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, Noble Drali. That's why many hearts have been turned to stone, and many have eyes to see but cannot see, ears to hear but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sin. These are the trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving. And they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and it causes confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace, your divine prophet, Noble Drali. Our salvation, Allah, unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce law with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs. He lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known for the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended into his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American you are part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and though they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and last to 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name, to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband, take care of your children, and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious, and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure of love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father God, Allah. Noble Drew Ali is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. As it is recorded, the holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, stated, if there is something going on wrong in your grand body, and the head of the temple knows what's going on wrong, and he doesn't stop it, it's because he is in on what's going on wrong. And as our leadership has stated, there is no sense in having the laws if after they've been read that they are violated willfully and continuously, and that there is nothing done to say a violator of law, then you're in on what's going on wrong, and you are part of the problem. Islam.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, we'll yield the meeting back to our Grand Governor, Nice Society Hill. And we leave here as we came, in peace, love, and praises unto Allah. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Almighty, Almighty. Islam. Oh, this on camera.
Sorry.
Okay, thank
Islam. I like to apologize for cursing. Excuse me, but sometimes I get carried away because I get tired of y'all. I really want to shoot some of y'all because I be trying to get y'all to see the light, nothing but the light. So I say Islam.
Islam.
Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Islam.
Scratch my back. Ooh. No, right over the side. No, down. Okay. Stop. I couldn't help it. Thank you. I had that itch. Scratch.
Islam, everyone. Okay, so tonight, for our members only, we will be doing our community Shahadatain as we closed out on this beautiful of our holy month. It is now to solidify by us recommitting ourselves, rededicating, reconfirming, renewing ourselves on this mustaqim.
Yes.
So we are doing our community Shahadatain.
Yes.
Our declaration of faith.
Yes.
And that it will carry us over into the closing and into the new year. It is our way to tell the world, ourselves, the law within, that we are committed to putting and keeping our hands on the plow. They said don't put your hands on a religious plow and take it off.
I am the plow.
I am the plow. So we are, this is part of our mandatory monthly membership meeting, so that will be part of our meeting, is the declaration of faith and Islam. At 8 o'clock we are going to have, Chief is doing a special if the truth be told podcast. So if you got questions,
and if you the Moors on the Dean, call in.
There you go, that part. So
call in if you Moors on the Dean. If you're not on the Dean, you wouldn't want to be
Islam. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out. Islam. Allah, bind our hearts and minds back to our ancient forefathers' divine creed and principles. We ask this in thy holy name and of the seven Elohim. Amen. Islam.
Bismillah.
Islam. Thank you for being the best part of what we do, and that is to inform, educate, and uplift. We welcome you to learn more about us Join our mailing list, or perhaps you are seeking to become a member of our community. We invite you to visit our website at msta1928.org. You would also find a host of various publications to aid in your understanding about the history and faith of Islam from a Moorish American perspective at the Moorish Islamic Store.com. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to be informed of our regular scheduled programs. May Allah go before you. We leave you in the best of ways, peace and love, in praises to Allah Almighty.